Hi all, here is Slagnado, and I want to analyze a game with you today, which I found on the internet while surfing. I found a chess blog named Sverre's Chess Corner by a Norwegian chess player, and there was this mysterious chess game from an Reinhard Pipion against Gyula Sachs, and Reinhard Pipion is only a 1900 player. Well, only, of course it's quite a strong player, but for Gyula Sachs, who is a 2600 player, that's not a very strong opponent. And it was played in 1988. So at that time, Gyula Sachs really was a super GM, and Reinhard Pipion won against Gyula Sachs, so a 1900 player defeated a 2600 player with the first move 1a3. Believe it or not, it's true. Well, 1a3. The chance of finding an opponent playing 1a3 isn't very high. And we can understand why, because it doesn't contribute anything to the center. It attacks b4, and that's, well, all the function of a3. Nothing else, really. Still, it's quite a tricky move. I once had a friend explaining me that it's quite tricky, and he played it once in a serious game, because there are some tricks. After e5, it's quite tricky because, well, black now thinks he's playing with white pieces because a3 didn't do a lot, and he can try to go into a normal king-spawn game, but now he has a problem where to develop his bishop. Because if he tries to go to c5, then there will come a point in the game where white is able to play b4 and then play bishop b4, winning a tempo by attacking the bishop, gaining some space, and then developing the bishop. And and the Ruy Lopez is also not playable, because of course b4 is attacked by the pawn. After d5, black can't go into the queen's gambit. Because of c5 there's just d takes, and now b4 is the savior of the day, defended by a3, and you're just winning a pawn. What then against c5? This is what Gyula Sachs played against Reinhard Pipion. Well, here there are some possibilities. One of them is e4, when you get into a Sicilian with a3, or you can play c4, which to me seems more normal, because then you come into English game when you want to play rook b1 and b4, which is quite a normal plan in this English. Instead, Reinhard Pipion played g3, after g6, bishop g2, bishop g7, d3, so a very passive opening by Pipion. As we can see, black has more space, but still the position does seem not very winnable for black, because he hasn't a clear advantage except of the space. Now f4, a breaking move, g4, and Pipion is just closing everything here on the king side. just developing his queen, his bishop. And it seems like Pipion just played for draw, hoping to close all the pawns and then try to draw. But now we have a d65, and now Gyula Sachs trying to open the position. We get f takes e5, knight takes, and d4. And I think that white now already is not worse, maybe a small advantage if you see the game is opening up. And well, this bishop looks very strong here on this diagonal. Also this bishop looks very strong, but this bishop is only looking at this pawn. This bishop at the moment is blocked by the knight. But it's hard to say. I think the position is roughly equal. Queen c7, pin on the pawn, but still c5, b5, and knight c3, bishop e8, and that's just some maneuvering. Again, the pawn chain is closed. And now here, knight g6, which gives away this pawn. Why did Gyula give away this pawn? Because of this tactical trick. Knight h4. He was hoping that Gyula Sachs was hoping that Reinhard Pipion now would take the knight with g takes h4. Can you see why g takes h4 is a blunder? I'll give you 5 seconds to stop the video. Well, the reason that knight takes h4 isn't a very good move is because white doesn't have to take the knight. But what if white takes the knight with g takes h4? Then we have knight f3, a double check by the knight and by the queen. The king has to move away. Queen h2, checkmate. I'm sorry. So that was a trick, but Pipion saw it and played rook takes f8, and now white has the advantage because, well, his pieces are standing quite better, and this knight on h4 is quite awkward. He has to do something about it. Well, exchange. And now queen e7, but now there's a problem, queen f5, and we see all these pieces of white can come to the attack. See, this knight is in, it's attacked. Black has to do something about it. Bishop g7, now queen e6, check. And now the game seems all over, especially after queen f7 blocking the check, because now there's just bishop takes e5. There's no hope for black, because after something like takes here, then there just would be knight takes, and the rook is attacked, bishop is attacked, and black is losing material. If black would take here, then just queen takes e5, and white is a piece up. So Gyula Sachs, 2600 player, blundered here against Reinhard Pipion, only a 1900 player, but it's a bit of a mysterious game, because Sverre on his blog says that it would be indeed very nice if Super GM Gyula Sachs lost against an unknown amateur who opened with 1a3, At his time, Sex was close to his peak as player, because Gila Sex peak rating became 2610, so he's only 10 points away from his peak rating. So who was Reiner Pipion, who's easily matched with him? Well, Big Base 2007, this is what Sverre says, has only a single game by Reiner Pipion, and claimed that it was played in the 9th and last round on October 4th, but something isn't quite right, as the tournament seems to have been played at July 13th to August 7th, as the Danish site shows of the tournament where this game was played. The tournament rating favorite Sex didn't do too badly at the end, ended well ahead of Pipion. Can it be that the round number as well as the result is wrong, or was Black a different player? So it's quite mysterious that Chessbase 10, which is the game database I use, has the same information about this game. So it's quite strange when the game was played, who is Reinhard Pipion, and well, when and how did this game happen. But one thing is sure, Reinhard Pipion, a 1900 player, played against 2600 Gila Sex, played 1 a3 as opening move, and then 1 against Gila Sex. Sorry. I hope you like this video and this game. If you have any information, then please share. Any comments or questions on YouTube? Great if you like this video with a thumbs up. Take care and bye, and the best wishes for 2011.